All right. Good morning, West USA Realty. My name's Keith Flynn. I'm the Director of Digital Marketing here at West USA. Welcome to another amazing, well, maybe not amazing, but another awesome webinar for you. Social media webinar that we have every Thursday at 10 a.m. here at West USA Realty. Excited for you guys to be on with us today. We're going to be covering Facebook groups, Facebook closed groups for real estate professionals. Whether you're managing a group, you want to manage a group, or you want to get into a group, just navigating the landscape, learning how to use Facebook groups to your advantage to create relationships, connect with folks in your local community, those who have an interest, those who are experiencing, what's happening in their community, and then obviously you getting in there and creating some high value content and sharing with them what's great about you as a real estate agent and helping them to learn how to learn more about their community, really just be a connector. And so Facebook groups is an awesome opportunity for you guys to do that. So with that, each and every week we record our webinars. So just be mindful, just some housekeeping tips here. We do record all of our webinars that you can find them after the fact on our YouTube channel. That is West USA Inc. Phoenix. Just do a simple search in your YouTube app to find our channel. You can subscribe, comment, like, make sure to turn on the notifications. That way you don't miss any of our future webinars, and you can chime in and interact with us, ask any questions you may have. Not only my webinar, but also all the webinars here at West USA Realty. We do have a number of them each and every week. Educational opportunities, things that you can learn, tricks, tips, things you can pick up to help implement into your real estate career, free CE classes, compliments of our Executive Vice President, Executive Operations Officer, Todd Menard here at West USA Realty. So be sure to jump in, engage with us, and as always, on the right there on your panel, you can ask questions of me. We are in a live environment. Yes, today is September 17th, Thursday. Really excited about the cooler weather in the mornings. We're all getting out and stretching our legs and finding out what it's like to be a human again, right? Not cooped in our houses. But with that, we're going to get cranking here. Each and every week, we do have the opportunity to have our sponsors with us. We get a couple sponsors each week to jump in. Our vendors, we certainly appreciate them. They provide a high level of value and content and resources for you at West USA. And so this morning, we have Shelly Scroff with us from OneGuard, and she's going to be sharing a little bit about what is happening in OneGuard for home warranty. I know I have my home warranty through OneGuard. They've been fantastic. Honestly, Shelly, I think I'm up for renewal, so we may have to address that. But yes, I had a couple claims this year. Customer service was awesome, attentive, responsive. One needed to be escalated just because it was over a holiday weekend, but I can't praise them enough. They've been awesome, so I highly recommend if you're looking to get something for in the way of a closing gift for your customers, be sure to check out OneGuard. But Shelly, thank you for joining us this morning.
Welcome, thank you, and thanks so much for the tout on that. Yeah, so I'm one of your account managers over here at OneGuard. So if you do have a situation, like he said, if you need to escalate it, please make sure that you're reaching out to one of us. We have a team of 5 all over Maricopa County for you that we are willing to help out and be able to get you to the right person, or if there's something going on, we can go ahead and escalate that claim and get your client going for sure, whether it's your own home or your client's. One thing I just want to stress right now is how important having a home warranty is. With everyone being home, claims are up definitely on our end. Whether you have a home warranty or not, things are breaking down a little bit more. I mean, toilets are being flushed more, refrigerators being opened and closed more, your AC, obviously with the summer being so hot, is being run a little bit more. But having a home warranty is definitely going to save you money. And that's what the whole point is, having a home warranty, is being able to, save those finances right there. And, offering your clients that home warranty up front, or recommending or referring a company, is super important. Even if they don't want to do it, or if it gets negotiated out of the contract, they have 60 days to go ahead and add their home warranty underneath our real estate plans. So they can always change their mind Also, I'm a huge believer, especially that first year, whether you believe in home warranty or you don't, that first year is crucial. Even though you've done your inspection, you really don't know what you're getting with your home, what your client is getting with their home. You might have a retired couple moving out of a home that maybe hasn't been using some of their bathrooms. And then you have a family of 5 moving in and bathrooms are getting used more. Dishwashers are being run more. Everything's being run more. So you might see some leaks or just normal, breakdowns in your appliances. So you really want to have that home warranty there to help back them up. But my information's on the screen. If you need anything, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm definitely here for you as a resource. And just thanks so much for giving me the time to talk to you today.
Absolutely, Shelly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hey, I had a question for you too. And to your point, we had a home warranty on our new build, and for 8 years, I think we had like one thing happen. But it's sure enough, it's like when if you want it to rain, go get your car washed, right? So it was like we went into, and then we bought a previously owned home, and we're like, all right, this home's 10 years old, so like let's make sure we're covered. And sure enough, each and every year, there's like at least 2 to 3, while minor, incidences, but it pays for itself. But one of the questions I had for you was, could you tell us a little bit about the incompatibility coverage on the HVAC? I know that's been a lot of talk lately with the what is it, the Freon or switching over? I think I lost you. Okay.
All right.
So,
Oops, are you there? Sorry, I lost you.
okay, did you hear what I said?
I only heard about half of it. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't think it was me or you. I think it was just the system in general. So I was just asking about the HVAC incompatibility coverage. I know that's been a hot topic as of late with AC units.
So if you have an older R22 system, and it's a split system, so you have one piece on the ground and maybe the other piece up in the attic, let's say, that's where that incompatibility coverage will come into play. And basically, eventually parts are going to be hard to get, and Freon and everything. And if we do have to do any kind of replacement, whether it needs to be replaced with a new unit because it's shot, or if we can't get parts, if they become unavailable, then we will move to that replacement. And basically, it just provides a little bit more coverage when we do replace that new unit to make sure that the piece on the ground is compatible with your air handler in the attic, and that they speak together. So it just provides that extra compatibility.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that tidbit of information. Thank you so much, Shelly. And I was always telling Ryan, we said thank you. Appreciate you guys taking your time to share with us, and always appreciate you guys being a sponsor. And so we'll chat with you soon.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. And then we got Jill St. Croix from Great American Title Agency. Jill's been a friend of the family at West USA for a number of years, and so always a pleasure to have her on and share with us what's happening with title. Jill, how are you?
I am good, Keith. How are you?
Doing well. Can't complain.
Awesome. Yeah, everything is going amazingly well in the title world for us these days. It's extremely busy, but
Yeah.
our team are working hard and getting everything done. And we've been getting just amazing compliments from our clients about how incredibly efficient our teams are. So kudos to all my escrow officers out there.
Yes.
So you're talking today about dominating your neighborhoods, and I have some really fun Halloween ideas that if you're listening right now and you would like to implement on your Facebook group, get a hold of me. My email and phone are right there, and we'll talk about it after the class. And we've got some fun stuff going on for Halloween. I know a lot of people won't be able to trick or treat or trunk or treat possibly, but there's still a lot you can do to have the kids have fun.
I love Halloween. It's one of the fun times of the year, and I saw a pretty cool article yesterday. Actually, in fact, this gentleman in the Midwest, or somewhere in the Middle East, or not Middle East, but the East Coast, he created a PVC piping and painted it orange, and you could shoot the candy down the railing, because he lives in an elevated front doorway. But had a little slide for the candy to shoot out. Yeah, did you see that? Isn't that cool?
Yeah. That was very creative. Yes.
Yeah, so we're all always trying to be creative and think of something new and how we can pivot and still enjoy what we're accustomed to. So yeah, so reach out to Jill. One of the great things about our vendors is that they have amazing marketing teams, and so they're able to help out you guys not only with content ideas but also creation. So Jill, as always, we appreciate you taking the time and obviously being a preferred vendor with us here at West USA Realty.
Yeah, gosh, I think I've been working with West USA the full 17 years I've been in the business. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a minute, hasn't it? I know. I can't believe I'm coming up on 6 years. So, well, Jill, thank you so much.
Content today.
What's that?
I said thank you for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to your content today. It's always fun and interesting, and I always learn so much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it should be a fun one. So Facebook groups is growing, lots of cool stuff happening, and so we're gonna jump right in and dive into Facebook groups. If you guys haven't already created a business page, I highly recommend doing so. We also have a class on that as well for Facebook business pages. Facebook is evolving. There's some crazy changes happening. They've got a brand new rollout of their platform. They've redesigned one of the most major redesigns in a number of years. I know personally, you can ask anybody what their thoughts are. Some people hate it. Some people love it. Like everything, everyone's going to have an opinion about it. And so I know Facebook's always messing with things and wants to switch things up and give it a new look, and a new feel. They've gone very minimalistic. So for the most of us, we have been seeing it on our apps, our mobile devices. The rollout did hit just before the new year. And now they're starting to roll that out to you in a desktop version. And so if you ever are able to, I highly recommend using a desktop when you're creating content, just because you see things in a higher res, better imagery, and then obviously use your mobile device for connecting, connecting and communicating on the go. But for those of you who may not have, as the title of this is, Facebook groups for webinar or for social media or for real estate professionals, Facebook groups basically is a place for all of us to communicate and communicate with those who have a shared interest. And so whether that's a hiker, biker, you're into side-by-side Can-Am racing, parasailing, whatever your interest, there is a group for everything and everyone. But for real estate agents, the big hook really is, the big value proposition for today's webinar really is closed groups around communities, around neighborhoods, subdivisions, zip codes, you name it. If you haven't already got into a closed group for the neighborhood in which you are working, where you want to farm, where you'd like to be, where you'd like to have a presence, I highly recommend simply doing a not a Google search, but a Facebook search for closed groups. Scottsdale Living, Norterra 85085, Goodyear Living, moving to Scottsdale, just anything you can think of, Gilbert subdivisions. Just do some search, spend a little time, find the community group that you want to be in. If not, if it doesn't exist, highly recommend as a real estate agent you creating one and then being the administrator of that. Whether family reunions, sports, you name it, there's just a number of different opportunities for you guys to build relationships and to get into those closed groups and start connecting with people at the end of the day. And remember, as a real estate agent, the goal for you is to create relationships. You may not find somebody or meet somebody who has an immediate need or is ready to buy or sell. And when that happens, fantastic, but not always the case. So for you now really is just building your personal brand, getting your information out there, showcasing your expertise, sharing your knowledge, calling back on previous transactions with buyers and sellers, and using social media to paraphrase and share those experiences, not only to provide value to folks who may have a need in the near future or may know someone who does, but again, to be memorable. And so one of the benefits of using a closed group is for you to engage your prospects and to bring awareness to your existence to them beforehand so that when that need arises, they think of you first. And then really establishing yourself, showing credibility, showing trust, showing that you're an expert and a neighborhood mayor not only do you say you have listings or you know the market, but showcase your neighborhoods, talk to your residents, be integrated into the community, because through that, being a real estate agent, you're a connector. And so with closed groups, unlike your business page, closed groups, when you're in a closed group, whether you post your content or someone else does, everybody in that closed group is going to be notified of the content, of the engagement, people liking, sharing, commenting, having conversations. Everyone in the group is going to see that transaction and those conversations and those relationships happening. Unfortunately, with real estate or with Facebook business pages and in the real estate market, the way that their algorithm is, it's just dialed down considerably. It's estimated that 1 to 3% of people who will follow your business page are actually going to see your content. And that's because Facebook is, unfortunately, and I get it, but they built a business model around pay to play. If you want your content seen, you're going to have to boost, run ads. You're going to have to spend money in order for your content to be seen. So Facebook's groups is a great workaround, and it's a match made in heaven for real estate agents, because a lot of groups are built around community. So it's an opportunity for you to get in there and create some high value content, share some information about what's happening in the neighborhood, articles, content about 3 best splash pads to visit this time of year within a 10-mile radius of your neighborhood, showcasing a small business owner who may be opening a location. Build a following, really just create some awareness for yourself and get in with those local residents, and really just position yourself to be the neighborhood real estate agent of choice. And so, as I mentioned, Facebook has already rolled out the new design. This is a screenshot of it. We'll go into a live environment shortly after these quick slides, and we're just going to work our way through creating a closed group, navigating a closed group, some tips and tricks and ideas for you guys to help you with content creation. But really for me today is just the goal is to build value around you guys, to build value around Facebook closed groups. And if you haven't considered doing so, like everything, the more you put into it, you're going to get out of it. And so it's a little bit of guerrilla marketing. But the big thing is it's free. There's no cost involved. All it is just your time. And so if you're not investing your time in yourself, then why are you really in business, really? So the goal for you is to jump into these closed groups. And for some of you, you may still see the old design, which you see here on your screen right now. If you do see the old design, you do have the ability to switch to the new Facebook. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a very small drop-down arrow. One of the most widely used navigation tools on Facebook, but for some reason, the smallest little teeny icon you can think of ever designed on the internet from Facebook. But in the upper right-hand corner, whether you're on the new look or the old, in the upper right-hand corner, thankfully, is still going to be a solid place for you to go to and then switch to the new look. If you are looking at the new Facebook, fantastic. I've been a little reluctant, but by the end of September, we will no longer have a choice. Facebook will make this a permanent change. And so embrace it. Like everything else, when change happens, get in there and learn and find out what's best for you. So this is the new look, the new design. If you see at the very top there's the home house. That's your home tab. The play window at the very top there is, the very top window there is your watch videos. We've got marketplace next for the little storefront. Groups is what we're going to be focusing on. We'll get into that when we get into a live environment. And then for you gamers out there, they've positioned that gaming tab up front. So lots of content, lots of redesign, really trying to put stories front and center here, and have our closed groups right there for us to see. So creating a business page or creating a closed group. If you haven't infiltrated one, jumped into one, highly recommend that you guys consider creating one. Now, there's no reason why you can't create your own closed group if there already is one around a neighborhood or an area of town, zip code. Once you've been in one and you see that maybe it's just not a lot of activity, moderators, administrators are not really putting out any content, there's not a lot of engagement, there's no reason why you can't go and create another closed group that services an area that you want to farm, There are multiple closed groups for the area that I live in here in North Phoenix. Norterra 85085 coincidentally is run by a agent, not with our brokerage, but she has had it for a number of years. There's 3,300 of us in there, and it's a great place for us to connect about what's happening in our neighborhood. Someone's dog got loose, HOA changes, any announcements, restaurants opening up, polls, someone selling something. Just a great way for you to connect. And again, there's no cost associated with it. So if you're going to be focusing on your neighborhood, your local farm, you want to grow that area, make sure to focus geographically. It's much easier to dominate a local farm online than it is offline, especially with today's climate. We're not really knocking on doors right now. We're not going around, shaking hands and kissing babies. Obviously, with our current climate, and it doesn't look like things are going to change anytime drastically soon. What a fantastic way for you guys to get online, create those relationships, and at scale. And I know if I were a real estate agent, I would be in there just pushing awesome high value content in the way of video, topics, need to know, be the 411 agent. You're always got the information. You know what's happening. You know what's popping off in the neighborhood. Starbucks is coming in. Oh, it looks like there's a new, AutoZone. Well, not that we would get excited about AutoZone because there's one in every corner, but you know what I'm saying. So you're getting in there and you're really just hammering in your niche. Get into your highly focus into your niche and be the first one in the area. Now, as I mentioned, probably chances are it's unlikely that you're the first agent to launch that group for that neighborhood community. But if you can find something of interest in that area, maybe it's hikers in 85085, maybe it's foodies in 85085. Again, the content and the value that you put into it's really going to resonate, and people are going to share that with their friends and family, and they're going to invite them in, tell their neighbors, share their experiences. Maybe you're doing something from a charitable aspect. There's just so many angles of pursuit when it comes to the closed groups. So really try to think outside the box on how you can infiltrate a neighborhood and bring a new value to it that may not already exist. And in that, you can start to build those relationships with the folks who live in that area so they remember you the next time they have a need. So when creating your closed groups, try to be SEO friendly, be geographical, Goodyear musicians, Norterra hikers, Moon Valley gardeners, Living Sun Lakes. Think about when you're naming your group, name it so that it's specific to an area that just screams where it's at, who it serves, so that when people are doing their search, maybe I'm a person who's looking to move into the Goodyear area. Maybe I'm someone who's looking to, consider renting in a particular area. I want to connect with the people who live there, learn more about the neighborhood, HOA, PTSA, connect with families, like-minded folks. When you're naming your closed group, being SEO friendly will definitely benefit you considerably. Second step to creating your closed group, definitely want to jump into your rules, the group rules by the admin. Now, I snagged this from one of our agents who is the admin for Buckeye Living, who met with probably a little over a year back, and he wanted to create something for the Goodyear or Buckeye area that hadn't really existed. And so we went over, your rules, which is fantastic to do because you set the expectations of those who join your group. And especially if you're a real estate agent who is managing that group, much like Norterra 85085, where I'm at, the real estate agent who manages that group does not allow other agents to promote themselves. So while I do preface this with playing nicely, you are in complete control of who's in there and the content they can push out. So going through the list there, obviously, be kind and courteous, no hate speech, no bullying. We want this to be a very positive and engaging environment. No promotion or spam. Now there's an amendment to that. No promotion or spam. I've seen some closed groups when you're creating your rules that there is an exception. You can allow them to promote their small business. Now, I'm local first. I love local business. I love entrepreneurs. I have my own side hustles, things that I want to do on the side, things that help me bring in some additional revenue for me and my family. And so the cool thing is if you're running a closed group, one thing to consider when you're creating these rules is don't say no. Just tell us when. And I think one of the cool things about the closed groups that I've seen that allows this, because no one likes to be told no, and it's a turnoff. I get it. But if you're in a closed group, maybe you select the last Friday of every month to be the day that you allow anybody who is a small business owner that lives in that area. I've got a number of different small business owners that live in our neighborhood, and they can take to their closed group once a month and do a promotion of what they do, and it includes real estate agents. And so, fostering that positive environment is awesome. And so consider that when you're creating your rules. But then moving through, obviously, respect everyone's privacy. You may have some pre-screen questions that, do you live in the area? When did you move into the area? Just kind of pre-qualifying folks so that you know that people who are in the closed group actually belong there. And then, like everything in this crazy political climate, no politics, no comments about politics, and let's not get anybody going, because we all know it's very divisive right now. So being mindful of that will really help out. And then in their group, they have no self-promotion. I don't agree with that. I would personally, for me, I would just say, this is one day that you can do it each and every month. It's the last Friday of the month. Coupon codes. What do you got going? How can you help me? Let me help you. In that, people can do trade outs and have a good time. So I think that's an awesome opportunity. So when creating a group, be mindful of those groups, or those rules. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of guidance when creating your rules, but be sure to set rules. That way, should you ever need to remove somebody from a closed group, because they're obviously saying something that's disrespectful, you can do so and then fall back on the groups. And as a group admin, as a real estate agent, consider this too. I would highly recommend you guys also reach out to a loan officer, title rep, home warranty. Maybe there's somebody, a team member, and ask them if they want to be an admin or a moderator in your closed group as well, because then it can help you with some of that heavy lifting. If there are 4 or 5 of you in that closed group and you're moderating what's happening, what's transpiring, you've got some coverage and nobody feels overtaxed or having to take on too much responsibility. So when we're talking about high value content, one of the things I highly recommend you doing, and you'll hear me say this over all of our webinars or my webinars for social media, is creating an editorial calendar. Best thing you could do is map out what you want to do, what you want to talk about each and every week, each month. You've got to print it out. I like to print things out and write it in pencil because it's just always changing and kind of old school. But like to write down what I'm thinking, what my thoughts are, the holidays, seasons, things that are current in the news. But creating yourself an editorial calendar, and then getting connected with your schedule, mapping out what content you want to touch on each and every week, highlighting a particular team member, partnering with your LO or your title rep, and then talking about how their aspect of their business plays into the buying and selling process and creating value for your closed group. Monthly interviews is an awesome thing to do in a neighborhood. We can all think of a mom and pop shop down the street who could use a little love this time of year, during all this climate. Hours of operation may have changed. They have a reduced menu. Maybe you partner with them and they offer you a special coupon code or a printed coupon code that they can hand out to your customers, to the neighborhood, with your cross-marketing, cross-promotional information on there. And then they walk that into the business. They get a free appetizer or 10% off. But really think outside the box here when your monthly interviews. Interview a team member, interview a landscaper. Maybe you could partner with a contractor in each and every month to talk about one inexpensive thing or relatively inexpensive thing that you can do to increase the quality or improve the value of the home. And again, you're just providing high value content while you're doing this, and so that your neighborhood, your closed group community is conditioned to look for your content each and every week, each and every month. And while they may not have a need now, if and when they do, who are they going to think of? They're going to think of you because they've been watching. And it's not always just the mundane or, just listed, just sold, closing, open house. There's more to a community than just those things. And so really, you guys really taking advantage of that and connecting with influencers within your community, nonprofits, business owners, spotlighting people within your area, because truly it's going to be impactful for us. and especially if you're in an area that has some infill, new restaurants are opening, new communities are being built. We recently had some rezoning for our schools. That created a lot of conversation, and we had some agents who were in there because it did affect some folks, and they needed to move, or they wanted to move and stay within a school district or in a elementary school area. Market trends is another big one for high content value. What's happening in the market? Are we seeing an increase or decrease in home valuations? Well, pretty sure we've been seeing increase. It's pretty crazy right now considering the low inventory out there. But how are we navigating that landscape? Is there someone want to move into a neighborhood? Well, what is the buying process? Are we even having open houses because things aren't lasting? Multiple offers are coming in. How do we counter if we're selling? How do we if I'm bidding or I'm in contention to buy the home, but there's someone else as well? What am I looking at as far as paying over ask? Doing a video each and every month about how that process works, so you can educate your folks, so that if and when they do reach out to you, they're already much more advanced in the process and have a better understanding of what's going to happen and speed up the process for you as well. Keep it unique and exclusive. Keep it relevant to what you do. Have fun. Let your personality showcase through your videos and through your content. There's no reason why you can't have a little fun with it too, because in that content, people will see you're likable, and likability is a big consideration when folks are deciding to work with you, and you're in your closed group and creating content and connecting with folks. So 9 tips to attract more local residents to your Facebook group. Number one, when you're in your groups, as I mentioned, it doesn't always have to be about the listings or the open houses. It doesn't just always have to be about that. There's more to real estate that goes into just listed, just sold. You could talk about, like you said, behind the scenes. Really, people want to know what it's like to be an agent, and especially now more than ever. How are you guys as successful agents? How are you dealing with low inventory? How are you dealing with a very competitive market? I hear stories all the time about listings aren't even making it to the MLS. People are doing teasers, and you've got 4 or 5 people who are interested before it even hits. So, talk about that. That's a unique situation that we haven't really seen in a number of years, and I think more now than ever. So, create that video, go live, talk about what it's like, and of course, like everything, you're archiving your content, and people can reflect back on that later and learn more about you and see you doing what you do in real time. When it comes to your content creation for your groups, again, switch it up. Use different forms of communication, not just text, but this is a very visual industry. Facebook is a very visual platform, natural fit. So be sure you're shooting high-res images. We've all got amazing cameras now on our phone. If not, I highly recommend going and getting one. It will definitely benefit you and your business. Creating great video, live streaming. I've got a couple classes on that as well. So again, refer back to our YouTube channel, watch our calendar for that content creation that we will cover at a future date. Number of different channels for you to really focus on. Share your personal stories with your local residents. Maybe you've got someone who's moving in from out of state. You don't need to give up all the details, first name, last name, social security number, but you can at least welcome them to the neighborhood, especially if you're in that closed group and you've got a buyer, you just facilitated that transaction, they're moving in. Hey, everybody, just would like to welcome, Betty and Bill Smith, or wherever they're from, just moved in the neighborhood, reach out, welcome them. We're already all in the closed group. Just think of this as like we're at a community event, and hey, everybody, come say hi to Bill and Betty. Hey, shake hands and hello, but we really aren't doing that right now. So use the closed groups to do that. Throw a shout out to new people in the neighborhood. Let them know who they are, where they're from, welcome them. If anybody has any suggestions, things they need to know, create that conversation, start that dialogue. You are a connector as a real estate agent. And again, because of that, people will remember you. So share personal stories about local business owners. I already mentioned that. Post video of your interviews with their locals. Maybe you connect with the HOA. Find out who the HOA board members are and go around and interview them individually. How long you live in the neighborhood? What role do you facilitate on the board? What's some goals and initiatives for the board for 2021. I mean, trust me, I'm not complaining. I'm thankful that we're almost at the end of September and this year is almost over. I think everybody wants to hit fast forward to 2021 really quick. And so we're already starting to think, what's 2021 going to be like? What are we going to start talking about our vision boards? We're going to start focusing on like what's happening in the neighborhood. I know it feels like March, 189th, but we're already thinking 2021. So find out what the HOA is looking to do. What are some challenges they're having? What are the things that they're addressing? I know my HOA, they've had closed meetings, and so they're talking about doing Zoom so the community can be involved. But a lot of what they've been doing over the last several months, we really just haven't been privy to, and we're just getting information via email from the HOA or from the property management company. And so, work around that, facilitate that, and get into interviewing maybe the HOA board members and finding out what's happening. And then you can post that content into the closed groups and help facilitate that rollout. Go live with Facebook events. Go live on your, whether from your phone, doing a neighborhood tour. Maybe there's something happening in the neighborhood that you want to showcase. Again, be the first one to drop that information, get people excited about what's happening in their area. Go live from your home, whether you have an open house or you've got a ton of videos and photos and amenities that you'd like to share live. You can do so by sharing your screen from your laptop, from your desktop, and you can host a live open house from your computer by simply sharing your screen. Whether you go Zoom or WebEx or web meeting, whatever platform you use, you can go live and engage people in conversation while you're live from your computer. Not able to get into the home right now, folks. I do apologize. It is occupied, and they're obviously being cautious right now. But hey, here's some fantastic photos we put together for you. I went into the home, shot some video, or maybe the homeowner shot some panoramic videos, sent those to me. You're live in a live environment from your desktop. You're welcoming people as they join you. Hey, Keith, how's it going? Hey, Betty, how are you? Anyone looking to move in the area? Where are you guys living? How long you've been there? Engage people in conversations and live forums. You're building relationships. And then the neat thing about that video is it records, it saves, it's on your in your closed group or in your business page. And you can always go back and engage folks on a direct message after the fact, follow up with them, engage them in a conversation, and obviously move those over to your CRM. And now you're building your pipeline of potential folks for future needs. Post daily, weekly, monthly. I often say don't be constant, be consistent. When referring back to the editorial calendar again, choosing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, however that looks to you, A/B test it, create your content in your closed groups, and then work that to find what is getting you the most amount of engagement with the community members. So be consistent. Post daily on your social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, weekly and monthly, especially when you're highlighting someone in the local business area. And denote whether you're going to go Instagram today, Facebook tomorrow, and so on. Trust me, you'll keep your sanity when you're creating your content. And of course, one of the other things that not a lot of agents are doing, but post fun surveys focused around the community. What are we doing for Halloween? What would you, granted, nationally, regionally, state, everyone's gonna, have different guidelines, but I'm not trick-or-treating in Flagstaff. I'm trick-or-treating right here in 85085. So reach out to the community. What do you guys want to do? I'm only going to go 4 or 5 blocks like I do each and every year. So it only matters to me what my neighbors want to do. As a real estate agent, you could facilitate that. Follow the CDC guidelines and jump in there and say, hey guys, what do you want to see? Let's do a survey. Let's have some fun with the poll. Obviously we're not going to do a block party where we're all just, handing candy out to one another, but what can we do to create a safe environment in this climate? And hopefully we won't have to talk about this next year. And next year will be, a neighborhood block party with bounce houses and we're all good. Wishful thinking, but hey, we got to deal with what we're dealt. And so, as a real estate agent, you can facilitate that and create a lot of awareness for yourself. More now than ever, you're going to be the compassionate one who connects folks. So jump in there to the closed group, partner with your LO, your title reps, any of your vendors, and say, hey, what can we do to really stand out in this neighborhood and really make it Halloween these kids won't forget? Because at the end of the day, they don't really know the wiser, and so we want to do our best to provide them with the most amount of fun, laughs, and scary screams, right? So when you're in your closed groups, if you're going to post, don't post and ghost. Best tip for you guys here, number 9, engage. When you put your content out, make sure you go back, say thank you, have a conversation. This is no different than if you were knocking on doors, you met somebody at Costco, you ran into a friend at Starbucks. This is social. Social prospecting when you're using closed groups, and so treat this like you would anything. You wouldn't just say, "Hey, how are you?" and walk away. Engage your folks. Come back to your posts. Comment, like, share. Remember, social media is a two-way street. So what you're going to put into it, you need to get out of it as well. And so make sure you pay it forward. All right. So whoops, I totally got ahead of myself there and killed that slide. Last slide for you guys there. Oh boy, no. All right, last slide there for you. I put together a couple of apps that you guys can be using that will, or not apps, but a couple of closed groups that you as agents can get into and connect with other agents. So not so much the community, but top 5 closed groups for real estate agents to join. National Association of Realtors has her own closed group. If you haven't done so, highly recommend you jumping in there. Connect with other agents across the country. NAR puts out some content about what's happening. More now than ever, you guys should definitely be abreast of that. Closed group, good one to be in. Inman's got one called Agent to Agent. If you haven't been in there, jump into that closed group. Obviously, all these guys are going to have some pre-qualifying questions for you about being an agent, but once you answer those, you'll be able to join and jump in there with other agents. NAR has one for young professionals. They're YPN, they're Young Professional Network. So millennials, anyone who's a millennial agent, they've got one focused specifically for your guys' age demographic. Lab Coat Agents is an awesome one. If you guys haven't heard about them, they are just a real organization that focuses on the science behind real estate. And so they've got a closed group that you can get into, and then also one called Raise the Bar. So there's a bunch of other spin-offs, smaller ones, but we found these to be the most popular, these 5 closed groups that exist for specifically you as an agent can get in there and find out what everyone's doing. What challenges are they facing and what's it looking like for them? So I'm going to switch my screen really quick here and move some stuff around. So bear with me. I'm going to go to screen 2, which is the Facebook page. And so I'm going to jump into a live environment and just kind of navigate this for you guys a little bit. Again, remember, if you have any questions, jump into the question panel there and I'll answer that for you in a live environment and we'll get cranking. So here's the new look. Here's Facebook, very minimalistic, pretty easy to navigate. You've got your main feed here in the center. Hey, look at that. Keith's having a class today, right now. Just kidding. You've got your closed groups here in the center, your main feed. So anybody you follow, business owners, personal, all live here in the feed. On the left-hand side, you've got a navigation. I'm in a groups tab right now. So I'm going to click on the F in the corner here. And besides the closed groups, this is a good time for us to kind of go through the new layout. A lot of the top navigation has been stripped out and moved over here to the left-hand side. You've got your shortcuts. You can always edit your shortcuts. You can drop in closed groups, business pages, anything you want to add to your shortcuts tab. You can edit that and bring those a little more easy to find and navigate. Naturally, I've got West USA Realty, our main business page, on my shortcuts. If you haven't done so, feel free to hit that like button. Follow us here at West USA. If you are an agent of ours, we do post a lot of agent-facing content on what's happening, classes, climate, anything that's happening in the real estate industry, webinars. You can stay abreast of what's happening with us. And of course, you can always repurpose that content for your social media needs. But easy peasy, as I mentioned at the top here, we've got our home tab, watch, marketplace, groups, and then gaming. Groups is what we're going to focus on. I'm going to click on the groups tab, and that'll take you in. If you haven't already done so and you want to create a closed group, I'm going to take you guys through creating a closed group, which will be really easy for you to do. Two ways to do that. On the left-hand side, you'll see create new group, or from the plus symbol in the upper right-hand corner, there's a drop-down tab for you there. The benefit of this one here in the upper right-hand corner is not only can you create groups from here, but you can create your posts, stories, life events, create a new page, ads, events, which is a really great tab to use. And especially when you're in the groups tab or in a group for a neighborhood, you can create an event specifically within that group, and everybody in that group will be notified. So who can guess what a great topic or event to create in a closed group for that neighborhood? I would definitely say an open house, right? Number one would be for if I'm in a group or I'm running a group, I'm going to go in there and jump and create an event around an open house, especially if it's in that neighborhood, in that community, that subdivision, and let everyone know that there's an open house. Even if they're not, obviously they're not looking to move down the street, but they may know someone who wants to move into the neighborhood, or they at least want to know and keep an eye on that open house to find out what their house is worth compared to the one you have an open house for. We get a lot of looky-loos. People walk in, want to see what upgrades they may have. We have the same floor plan. Again, awesome opportunity for you guys to connect with those folks and chat and start a conversation with them. So from this tab here, we're going to click on create groups. As you can see, first thing, easy. This actually has gotten much nicer looking than it used to be. Not as clunky. So I will give kudos to Facebook for this. But simple thing to do, group name in the upper left-hand corner, whether you're doing Flagstaff Living or 85023, however you want to name it. Remember, stick with SEO friendly again and create your closed group around the name of the area, or at least identifying the niche local area in the name so it's easily identifiable. When it comes to privacy, choosing a privacy, public or private, public's fine. As you can see there, anyone can see the group and what they post, or private. Private is the most common. Private allows you then to change the visibility to either anyone can find the group or hidden. Now, one little quick tip for you guys here, for you real estate agents, if you want to create a hidden group for your past clients, this is a really cool play. I've seen this one with a lot of real estate agents. They'll actually create a closed group for your past clients, and they'll make it hidden so that no one can see who's in there. No one can ever find it unless they're invited. And then in that closed group, you can share content with your past clients. What's happening with you, what areas you're working. Maybe once a month or once every quarter, you do like a little appreciation. Jump onto Starbucks. You preload a digital gift card for like $50, then go into your closed group, your private closed group of your past clients, and you say, hey, everybody, hope everyone's a good day. Your next coffee is on me. Here's a digital coupon code. It's on the honor. You can't go buy in 25 drinks with it, but use this for the next person with coffee. Have a cup of coffee on me. Next week, I'm going to have a video with a contractor. We're going to talk about 3 things that you can do to improve the quality or the value of your home. Now that the weather is cooling down, I've got a video coming up with a landscaper. Maybe that landscaper is new to the business, trying to get a little love, and you showcase that video in your closed group. The cool thing about the closed group that's hidden is no other agents are seeing what you're doing, and no one can pilfer past clients or anything like that. So create a cool little community within the hidden group. But most part, with closed groups, they're going to leave it hidden. And then you can start inviting your friends and family and invite somebody in. I'm going to invite in Nick Wiedekamp, our Vice President of Operations, and hit create. So now I've created the name. I've got my settings on private, and I've got it to visible. So here we go. We've got a basic shell of a closed group. It's really that simple. It's really neat to do. The legwork, the heavy lifting is going to come in with you building the audience. And so your cover photo here, much like you would your business channel or your personal page, we're going to edit and upload a cover photo. Have fun with this. I teach a Canva class. There's a recording of my past Canva classes on our YouTube channel where you can create your own cover photo using a West USA logo. Maybe it's a News 5 shot of you, arms crossed and doing some kind of a little high res shot. Use this landscape use this real estate here to put your name. You are a real estate agent, or if you want to keep it a little more, not so much about you. Take a shot of Flagstaff, or take a picture of your community, or maybe it's the front entry to the neighborhood. Give yourself an establishing shot for your cover photo for your closed group. And then going through there, really when it comes to your settings, on the left-hand side, you will see where you can invite friends, add a cover photo, add a description. Highly recommend adding a description. Share with us what this group's about. For those living in Flagstaff, looking to live the Flagstaff, anything and everything to do with the Flagstaff community. This is an open forum. Whatever your description is, go ahead and put that in there for you, and you can add that to give everyone an idea of what they can expect if they come across the closed group and then look to join it. Your About tab will take you through, again, where it shares the visibility, the general, the reason for the group existing, and then I'll also share with you how long the group has been in existence. The discussion filtration tab will take you through any past content that's been posted and all the conversations that have happened. The members tab will show you who all belongs in there. And then in there too, you can also add additional members, and then also identify or select members to become admins, moderators, and so on. And then here is your events tab. This is an awesome play for you guys. If you're in your closed groups, use the events tab as a way for you to showcase things that are happening, both in person or virtual. You can still use that events tab. It will notify everybody in that closed group, and it will show them what's happening with the neighborhood. And then obviously, whether your open house is in person or a virtual event, that events tab is a great one to use. And it will also archive in there too, so anybody visiting can see that moving forward. So I hit continue later because I wanted to get to this new admins tool on the left-hand side, getting into member requests, automatic member approvals. It's a pretty involved menu on the left-hand side, but you can go through and use a lot of these tools to your advantage. One of the ones I like that stands out is the scheduled posts. You can schedule posts in your closed groups now so that you can have your content hit Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and so on while you're out doing all the other things that you have to do as an agent. And then your content is dropping into the closed groups. I know a lot of agents who sit down like on a Sunday or the first of the month. Not only do they go through their editorial calendar, but they start collecting and curating their content for all their needs. Okay, I want to do a segment on this, and this topic. I know I'm going to need a photo of front door, backyard, landscaping, maybe a shot of Phoenix because I want to do kind of like an overall hero image of Arizona and talk about what's great about Phoenix. And so you know that these are the things that you need to get and curate so that your content can hit on those days. So it really helps you map it out and then schedule it accordingly. Going into your group rules tab, which is down here, this is where you can get started on your group rules. As I showed you earlier, we talked about some examples of group rules. And what's nice now is Facebook actually gives you some generic copy on each of the rules that they have found to be the most successful and widely adopted. So naturally, being kind, courteous, no hate speech, promotion, no promotion. Maybe it's not promotion, but promotions are only on Friday. So promotion only on last Friday of the month. So, and then in here you can put, certainly promote local first, whether you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, neighborhood shop, whatever the case may be. You're more than welcome to post content about specials, discounts, things that are happening. We just ask that you do it on the last Friday of each and every month. And then you're proactive so that on that Friday, you schedule a post and it says, hey guys, today's Friday, last day of the month. What do you got? What's happening with your business? How can you help somebody in the neighborhood? Again, facilitating that connection, and you add that in your groups right here. So once you're done, hit create and adds that specific rule to your rules. So recommend doing that. If you haven't done so, go back into your rules, create those rules, edit those rules, change those so that they're what you want them to be, and then you can go from there. One of the cool features I like down here on the navigation they also added to was keyword alerts. So if you set up certain keywords to alert you, they will appear in the timeline. Members can use these keywords. You'll be able to review the content contained in those keywords and take action. So this is a more of a very enhanced filtration method for you to see what's happening and what's being discussed in your closed groups. And so if there's keywords in there that you can use to your advantage, whether to expedite you involved in the conversation. So maybe someone uses the word home or house or relocation, rental, a lot of those keywords, I'm sure you can think of some that I've missed that will create a notification for you guys as an admin. And so you can be even that much faster to engaging in the conversation. And so if someone's in there is like, hey, folks, looking for, I need rental opportunities in the area, boom, you're notified that keyword pinged, and you can immediately jump in and then reach out to that person and maybe engage them in a conversation. Well, maybe you could qualify. Have you considered speaking with a loan officer? And then boom, there's your conversation. Icebreaker, jump right in. So keywords is a cool thing to use. It also helps you with keeping aware of what's happening. Should there be any profanity, hate speech, anything like that, use those keywords to your advantage. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're almost out of time. But I wanted to cover one point real quick. I know football just started back up again, and I'm a big football fan. So let's just say we're excited about that. Go Irish! The Super Bowl this past year, back in January and February, the Super Bowl hit. Facebook spent money on 2 commercials. Both of the commercials had to do with Facebook's groups. So not only about Facebook, but actually an aspect of Facebook, and that was their closed groups. Last I checked, it was like $5.5 million for a 30-second spot during the Super Bowl. They had 2. So this company threw in $11 million to run ads about Facebook groups. So they're all in. And as you can tell, they've added some really cool features to the closed groups that will help you guys as agents to manage these groups, as well as really can make set yourself up for success and have a very integrated conversation and connection with the community. So take advantage of those. Highly recommend doing so. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about using groups, you can always email me. I'm keith@westusa.com, Keith. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, WeChat, UChat, we all chat, whatever it is that is interesting to you about digital advertising in general, I'm always here as a resource for you guys. Happy to jump on a call. I get emails after the webinar all the time. Love to connect with folks and provide you guys with some more additional value offline. Visit our YouTube channel as always. Next week we have on the 24th, 10 a.m. Our next webinar is going to be on Instagram for real estate agents. It's Instagram intermediate, so beyond basic. So I'm assuming you guys already have your Instagram account. You're kind of using it, but you want to take it to the next level. Understand hashtags more, tagging people, using your stories. Now we've got Reels. So for all you wannabe TikTok, YouTube channel stars out there, we can get into some of the new features that Instagram is offering you, and hopefully you can use that to create more content, more creation, more awareness for yourself on a social media platform. So I think that's it for today. I hope I answered all your questions on getting, or at least provided some value for you on getting going with closed groups, managing your groups. Once your group is off and running, the best thing you can do is just get into your closed group and start inviting folks in. If you know 1 or 2 people who are in the neighborhood, invite them into the closed group, and then DM them, direct message them, and say, hey, well, let's get this group off the ground, start pushing content, and invite your neighbors, friends, family members, anybody you may know who will benefit from being in the closed group. And let's start working on building relationships, and hopefully you guys will start to see some leads come from that. So with that, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. As always, you guys are fantastic. Shoot me some questions if you have any at all, and we will see you next week. And like always, be kind to one another and be safe. We'll see you soon.